man, one vote.
Mr. Mandela, if you were to meet Margaret Thatcher this afternoon, what would you say to her?
I don't think it would be correct for me to tell the mass media what I would tell Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher.
Do you hope to meet her, Mr. Mandela, as when you embark on your world trip?
We have received a tremendous support from the international community. Excuse me. And it would only be proper if we met all the heads of states of the countries that have given us support.
Does this mean then that you would not seek a meeting with Mrs. Thatcher?
No, on the contrary. Britain has supported our struggle. They have condemned apartheid. There is no reason why we should make any exceptions.
And to those who suggest that Mr. de Klerk's announcement regarding your release and the unbanning of the ANC might be reason for the easing or the modifying of sanctions, you would say?
No. We would insist on Mr. de Klerk meeting all the preconditions we have set, and the mere unbanning of the ANC and the release of one individual does not mean that he has met the conditions which we have set.
Mr. Mandela, before our first break, may I just ask you this question? I mean this not flippantly at all. We're asking for information here. Do you like F.W. de Klerk?
Well, it's not a question of liking or hating Mr. de Klerk. He is a man with whom we should discuss the problems of the country. There can be no solution without discussing with him. Secondly, I have stated on countless occasions that I have formed the impression that Mr. de Klerk is a man of integrity, and that he is a man who is prepared to honor his undertaking. But I have added that we as an organization, we based on our strategy on the policy of the National Party, which still maintains apartheid, one of the most brutal forms of racial oppression the country has seen.
So he's a man of integrity, and so therefore you must be at least hopeful and may I say optimistic about a positive outcome to your negotiations.
Oh, certainly. I am hopeful, I am optimistic that a political solution will be reached in the end.
May I ask you, when do you think this negotiating session will take place?
Well, that is for prophets to say. I am not one.
Certainly it'll be this year.
It is possible, and I hope that it will occur this year.
We are in Burbank, California. Mr. Mandela is on the satellite from Lusaka, Zambia, and we will be back in just a moment.
Atula mama, atula, atula mama, atula, atula mama, atula, tula, tula.
Put a little love in your heart. For a taste you'll love with all your heart, close your eyes and taste this.
Introducing Promise Extra Light Spread. With half the saturated fat, salt, and calories of regular margarine. Without cholesterol, without sacrificing taste. So enjoy it with a passion. New Promise Extra Light.
Finally, one long-distance company gives you late-night rates starting at 5 instead of waiting till 10. Introducing Sprint Plus. Lower rates than AT&T around the clock. The lowest rates available after 5. Call now. We'll even switch you for free. Sprint Plus. Late-night rates when you can really use them.
Ah, you can just taste it. The warmth of the sun, the pure country air, the golden green of the land. You can taste that farm freshness in every part of a Shady Brook Farms turkey. Turkey parts. Fresh from Shady Brook Farms. In this whole world, there is no better turkey.
Hey kids, it's Ice Capade's 50th birthday with Nintendo's Super Mario Brothers for the first time anywhere, live. And Barbie, a real doll come to life on ice. This is one birthday party you'll never forget. Ice Capade's 50th anniversary.
Join us for Family Night, March 14th for half-price tickets, courtesy of WTNH-TV and Fryhoppers.
Welcome back to a very special program. Can you still hear me, Mr. Mandela?
Yes, I can hear you.
Is your earpiece comfortable, sir?
Yes.
Very good. Mr. Mandela, you're 71 years old. And you arrived in Lusaka to meet some old friends from the ANC and some new friends as well. I assume that you've met a number of people who have guided the ANC during your imprisonment who are, I assume, variously in their 40s. Is that generally accurate?
All those, at least most of those that I've met, are around 40 years of age. That is true.
Uh-huh. What do you feel when you talk to them? Did you, is this deja vu? Are you back to the future? Is the dialogue similar to the kinds of meetings you had before and during your underground life? Or do you notice a different, as we say in the States, is there a different spin to their rhetoric?
No. I admire the men who lead the ANC. They are absolutely tremendous. And I have followed their activities from prison. And now that I've met them, I am tremendously impressed. We speak the same language, and they are providing an excellent leadership.
You, I hope you'll understand this personal observation. The world is very impressed with the civility of your speeches and the gentlemanly quality of your behavior. You do not look like a man who used to be a prize fighter. You also don't...
Well, I have had my younger days, but as you grow, especially when you sit in jail and reflect on your past mistakes, you are bound to feel that problems must be handled differently. And you must accept the integrity of others, even though you differ with them. Tolerance in political activity. And we can get the support of many people if we are tolerant.
You're a very candid man. May I ask you to share with us what you would consider to be one or two of those mistakes that you made?
Well, there is a host of them, and but it wouldn't be proper to discuss these issues through the mass media. But if you came over to me and we discussed as friends, I would be prepared to share these mistakes.
Mr. Mandela, 27 years in prison. You've made the point that the greatest agony is the recognition that your own moral commitment brought incalculable pain to those you love the most, the members of your family. Your wife has been arrested and jailed and placed in solitary and called names and abused by uniformed authorities. I also know that the final statement you made in the dock in 1963 was that you will fight this struggle until you die. With that background, I ask you this, sir. Isn't Mrs. Mandela entitled to a vacation with her husband?
Well, my beloved wife has been a source of tremendous support to me. Nothing pleases me more than that I have now joined her and to give her the support and security which she has not had for the last 28 years. And I am happy to move around the world with her.
In the biography which you authorized, titled Higher Than Hope, as you know, written by Fatima Mir, the reader is given a very painful accounting of some of the pressures that your wife and you sustained during your imprisonment. Authorities tried to suggest that your wife was unfaithful to you. Authorities, there was a night when they went into her, invaded her house and began strangling her in her bed, and only her screams warded them off as neighbors came to help her. You must have had nightmares in prison about this.
Well, these were not very pleasant news to reach me. And of course, I agonized over the harassment of my wife. But she is a tremendous inspiration to me personally. And my duty has always been to bring a measure of happiness to her.
Mr. Mandela, do you see the upcoming trial of the head of the Winnie Mandela soccer team following the death of the young adolescent as another government setup?
Well, I have no doubt that it is. The way the South African police have conducted themselves in the investigation of the so-called offense has been totally disgraceful. And it is clear that their intention was not to investigate the commission of any crime, but it was partly to destroy the image of the family.
We are in Burbank, Mr. Mandela in Lusaka, Zambia, and we'll be back to allow this audience to question Mr. Mandela in just a moment.
I hope you're making those sandwiches out of Nissan light wheat, bud. Not me. I'm having white.
The wheat is just 40 calories a slice and no cholesterol.
Same as my white.
The wheat's high in natural fiber and still has a great taste.
Yep, just like the white.
We're having wheat, Mr. Levitt.
I'm having white, Mr. Williams.
Let's settle this.
White.
Wheat.
White.
Wheat.
White.
Okay, okay. Try both Nissan Lights.
White.
And wheat.
Even round here, when folks started worrying about cholesterol, breakfast got kinda lean. But now the rich, hearty breakfast is back. Folks are pouring on a fresh, creamy taste with no cholesterol. Now there's Farm Rich non-dairy breakfast creamer. Farm Rich tastes fantastic on flakes, beautiful on berries, creamy in coffee with no cholesterol. Farm Rich non-dairy breakfast creamer, a fresh, creamy taste with no cholesterol.
ShopRite answers the question on everyone's lips.
What's for dinner?
Right, that's it?
Look for ShopRite Sunday ad. With these coupons, get chock-full of nuts coffee for 99 cents. A second one, just a penny. ShopRite large eggs, $1.09 a dozen, another dozen for a penny. And Thornapple Valley bacon, $1.39 a pound, a second package, just 1 cent.
We save you money. ShopRite does it right.
I had made a decision that I did want to have another child one way or another.
On the next Sally Jesse Raphael, they wanted babies, but not commitment. So they used men like studs to get pregnant.
Now, you came in a willing partner.
I know I did.
You've brought this child into this world. You owe that child something.
I just want to say, I don't think that parenting is something that you can turn on and off.
Women who want babies, not husbands, on the next Sally.
Friday morning at 10 on Channel 8.
We're back with Mr. Mandela, who's on the satellite from Zambia, and I'll ask anyone with a question to offer it for him. Yes.
Mr. Mandela, since your release from prison, have any threats been made on your life?
Not that I know of.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mandela, the ANC in the past has indicated a desire to nationalize some of the mines and the banks. Is it your intent or the ANC's intent to become more communistic in the future if you could, when you assume control?
Well, that is the policy of the ANC. As far back as 1955, we declared for the nationalization of certain sectors of the industry. But as we have pointed out before, the rest of the economy will remain based on free enterprise.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mandela,
excuse me, let me understand this, Mr. Mandela. You don't, I assume you do not consider the nationalization of the mines and other national and other industries of this kind to be communism. Is that so?
No. Many sectors of the economy in this country are nationalized, and nobody could ever suggest that because the government has undertaken to nationalize certain sectors of the industries, then they are communists.
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Mandela, I'm chairperson of the Social Concerns Commission at First AME Church, the African Methodist Church in Los Angeles, and I would like to ask you what the role you think the churches should be playing in helping to abolish apartheid in South Africa.
The churches are in the center of the struggle against anti-apartheid. They have been an important force in fighting against racial discrimination. And my appeal to the churches is that they should continue to play that role.
In terms of your personal security, do you see the ultra-left as a great threat as the ultra-right?
I don't think that there is any threat to my life from the left. I have friends as far as the black population is concerned. I have no fears at all. But I don't think I can say that about the right.
You see the right as more violent.
Well, I can give no assurance that there will be no threat to my life from the white right.
You cannot give an assurance that there would not be.
Well, I do not want to repeat that statement. Some of the things that they have said suggest that there is the threat to my life from the right.
Mr. Mandela, as a precondition to your being let out of the prison, was there anything that the government, the South African government, said to you that they wanted you to do that you agree with or don't agree with?
No. Our discussions with the government have been open-handed. My release is unconditional.
Sir.
Yes. Will you demand reparations from governments like Israel who have, despite international arms embargoes, supplied the South African government with Alavi jets, Gabriel missiles, and given South African government the nuclear capability to annihilate 30 million African people?
Well, I don't think at this stage we should think in terms of reparation. What concerns us today is the introduction of peace in the country and the support of the international community.
Does this mean then that you don't wish at this moment to make a comment about the report of Israeli support for South African nuclear technology?
The support of South Africa by Israel is well known. It has been condemned at the United Nations and in many other world bodies.
We should not then, some might interpret the rather enthusiastic embrace that Yasser Arafat offered to you on the occasion of your arrival in Lusaka as evidence of perhaps hostility or an anger toward Israel. Would that be reaching or going too far?
The enemies of Israel are not our enemies. And the struggle of the Palestinians for independence and for their own home is a struggle we fully support.
Mr. Mandela, I applaud your courage and commitment. When I was in South Africa 5 years ago, I was appalled by the segregated conditions. And yet one area where there was integration was in the area of sports, where black and whites compete together. Yet both black and white South African athletes are banned from the Olympics. Do you think now, in the spirit of reconciliation, that is the time to bring both black and white South African athletes back into the Olympics?
No, it's too early to talk of the admission of South Africa into the Olympics. The demand is that the political setup in the country should be scrapped altogether and a democratic system of government introduced. That is very far from realization. And we think it's too early for you or for anybody else to think in terms of the readmission of South Africa into the Olympics.
Yes.
Mr. Mandela, what is your opinion on African Americans as far as their status and condition here in America?
Well, I would require a briefing on that by the Afro-Americans themselves. A time is coming when I will visit the United States. I will discuss with them, and what I will say is something that will express their own wishes and their own views.
We are in Burbank, Mr. Mandela, in Zambia, and we'll be back in a moment.
Betty Crocker says, quote, only 100% Idaho russet potatoes, plus rich, creamy sauce, equals a creamy taste everyone loves. Scalloped potatoes from Betty Crocker, when you want to make a statement.
I'm even jazzier in my BVDs.
BVD brand underwear. Whatever you do, that extra comfort helps you do it better.
At my age, I've done just about everything in my BVDs.
With new Lunchables lunch combinations from Oscar Mayer, your lunch will never be the same because Lunchables combine fresh meats and cheeses with crisp crackers. It's a really good lunch in one handy pack. So how about a feast of Munster and roast beef? You couldn't do better than chicken and cheddar or pile on bologna, salami, or Colby. Attack a stack of Monterey Jack. Add turkey and wheat and your lunch is complete with ham and Swiss on rye you can't miss. With 8 varieties of Lunchables, your lunch will never be the same.
Lunch, 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 it's Lunchables.
From Oscar Mayer.
An important message for people who spend time alone.
I may have died if I hadn't been wearing it.
I'm alive today because of it.
It saved my life. If you spend time alone and worry about how you'd get help if you fell, had a medical emergency, or an accident, protect yourself the way these people do with Life Call, the 24-hour emergency response service. Simply by pressing this button, you can instantly summon an ambulance, the doctor, your family, even your next-door neighbor, all without picking up the phone. Just press this button, speak into the air.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
We're sending help immediately, Mrs. Fletcher.
Don't be caught alone. Call this toll-free number now for your free, no-obligation information about Life Call.
It saved my life.
It saved my life.
And it can save your life, too. Life Call works.
So call now for your free no-obligation information. 1-800-826-0800. That's 1-800-826-0800.
We're here celebrating Judy's birthday, except Judy can't be here. She's on one of those expensive diets with lots of restrictions. But we're here because with Weight Watchers' new Fast and Flexible program, you can eat the foods you want, where you want. And Weight Watchers meetings cost less.
Join Weight Watchers for $9 per week. And now through March 31st, registration is only $10. Call 1-800-333-3000.
Happy birthday, Judy, wherever you are.
I am pleased to welcome you back to Burbank and our satellite dialogue with Nelson Mandela.
I would like to know what young people, young activists in the United States can do to help aid the struggle in South Africa.
Well, my impression, as well as my information, is that the young people in America are playing a magnificent role in the struggle against apartheid. And all that I would do is that they should continue.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Mandela, can you please tell us how your wife, Winnie, was able to raise your children so well? They're brilliant and well-educated. How was she able to do that?
Well, my wife is a wonderful woman. And, in fact, she is the only man in that house.
Mr. Mandela, I'd like to ask you, how's the mood now in South Africa? And also, I would like to ask you, how did your meeting go with Jesse Jackson?
Well, the meeting with Jesse went on very well. I think he is a remarkable man, a man of many talents, and I wish him all the best.
Will you kindly comment on your relationship with Chief Buthelezi?
Well, Chief Buthelezi has been a friend of mine for years. And I am now seeking a meeting with him as soon as I return to South Africa in order to explore ways in which we can put an end to the violence in Natal.
Mr. Mandela, what effect do you think the violence in South Africa is going to have on the young whites and blacks and their political actions in the future?
Well, violence is something we do not want. And we hope that if the government responds to all the preconditions we have set, there will be no necessity whatsoever to talk about violence as a means of solving political problems.
Mr. Mandela, all Americans rejoice in your freedom. In our country, over 70,000 American families have seen a loved one die from AIDS. We know that AIDS is an epidemic in Central Africa, but we do not know the extent of AIDS in South Africa.
Well, my information is that AIDS in South Africa is on the increase, and efforts are made to educate the population as to how to avoid this disaster.
Mr. Mandela, don't you think that art and theatre can heal a nation? And don't you think that the cultural boycott should be lifted?
Well, all these issues we regret very much indeed, but there can be no relaxation until the political setup is changed.
My name is Sipho Tsele from South Africa. I'm a member of the ANC.
Oh, yes.
We are welcoming here. I have a member of the ANC, Professor Tiosoga, as the chairman, Vusi as the chairman, and the member of the ANC here. I'm accompanied with them here. I welcome you, Baba Mandela. I hope you will make arrangements so that we can return home. I've been in exile 20 years. I've been in Lusaka and Angola, you know, I don't want to mention. Thank you very much, Baba.
Thank you.
Right. Before our break, sir, Mr. Mandela, I assume your itinerary, which is not yet complete, when you leave the continent, will include a visit to the United States.
Oh, yes, undoubtedly. I have received an invitation from President Bush, and as subject to what the National Executive of the ANC might say, I intend accepting that invitation. And it will be a great joy for me to visit the United States.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Should your name be on this envelope? It should be. If you or someone you love is age 50 to 80, and it will be addressed to you if you call now for the important information in this envelope. Free information that tells you how easy it is to get valuable life insurance protection with a whole life policy that is designed especially for men and women age 50 to 80. If you meet that age requirement, you are guaranteed this protection because there's no physical examination and no medical questions. You cannot be turned down, regardless of your health. Your premium will be $6.95 a month and will never increase. And as you grow older, your benefits will never decrease. Some other policies designed for mature people actually reduce your benefits as you grow older. You may continue to pay their same premium, but they give you less and less coverage. So don't be fooled. Be careful. Go ahead and compare Colonial Penn with other companies. So get ready to make that important telephone call right now. If you call now, Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company will send you the important information in this envelope, and it's free. So if you are age 50 to 80, shouldn't you join the millions of people who have already called for this offer? Shouldn't you call now? Here's the number.
Call 1-800-346-8400 for free information in the mail about the life insurance Ed McMahon spoke about. The information is free and the call is free. So call now. 1-800-346-8400. 1-800-346-8400. That's 1-800-346-8400.
Mandela, we have approximately 4 minutes left, so may I just exercise my prerogative here? Will you kindly share with us, Mr. Mandela, a man who's had a long time to think about this? What is racism? Why do you suppose it manifests itself everywhere, including my own country? The evidence is overwhelming. What are your thoughts about this universal human condition?
Well, I think the fact of suffering, the fact that people haven't got equal rights, the fact that people are richer than the others, are all responsible for these negative reactions on the part of the community. And to fight for a non-racial system of government and to seek to redress all the social evils that we meet, in my view, they will help to spread the message of peace and a common brotherhood,
I assume
which will transcend racial barriers.
I assume, Mr. Mandela, that you were at the least upset at President Reagan's policy of so-called constructive engagement during the decade of the 80s. His refusal to support sanctions.
Well, in my view, the Reagan era is past. We are now concerned with the policies of President Bush, and we are heartened by the fact that he supports sanctions and he is not prepared to lift them.
Yes. Yes.
Do you think that an additional requirement for the lifting of economic sanctions should be South Africa's ending its military support for the Contras in Angola and Mozambique, in addition to agreeing to pay for damages that it's caused in the frontline states for its destabilization efforts?
We have set our preconditions, and our only concern is that the government should meet those preconditions. And we are not going to extend those preconditions at the present moment.
Do you favor the policy for complete divestment, or do you think it does more harm to the people than the government?
No. We are in favor of total sanctions. And if there is any suffering on our part, that is a price we are prepared to pay.
Sir. Comrade Mandela, we in the ANC have been criticized of being weak on the question of the land. I want to know from you that what is the policy of the ANC on land in a post-apartheid South Africa?
We have made that clear in the Freedom Charter. We say the land belongs to all those who work it. And that is clear enough. That is our policy.
We'll be back in just a moment.
Now from the markets of Rome, where a mix of cultures created bold, spicy sauces, comes the recipe for new Classico di Roma Arrabbiata with spicy red peppers. Classico di Roma Arrabbiata, one of the new Classico authentic regional pasta sauces.
What are outspoken romantics saying about the taste of new Rice Bran Option cereal? Brown rice flakes with rice bran and crunchy oat nuggets taste... New Rice Bran Option cereal. The taste speaks for itself.
We thought everyone knew that no other major brand of orange juice comes closer to this than this, Tropicana Pure Premium. But much to our surprise, we found a small group that was just about to try it. Of course, we'd like to encourage everyone to discover for themselves why you just can't pick a better juice.
Lee's Famous Recipe has the best tasting chicken in town. Delicious Famous Recipe style chicken. Honey dipped and pressure cooked to seal in the flavor. And spicier, crunchier, crispy plus. Now, the best tasting chicken costs less. So come on, eat in or take home for convenience. For a limited time, Lee's 8-piece chicken box is just $6.49. Who do you appreciate?
ShopRite answers the question on everyone's lips.
What's for dinner?
That's it? Look for ShopRite Sunday ad. With these coupons, get Chuck Full of Nuts coffee for 99 cents. A second one, just a penny. ShopRite large eggs, $1.09 a dozen, another dozen for a penny. And Thornapple Valley bacon, $1.39 a pound. A second package, just 1 cent.
We save you money. ShopRite does it right.
Hi, I'm Monty Hall. Remember all the fun we had playing Let's Make a Deal on TV? Now you can play right over your touch-tone phone. Call 1-900-860-4332. Choose the right door and you can win great prizes. Maybe even a trip or two to the beautiful Tropicana Hotel in Las Vegas. But be careful. Choose the wrong door and... So call now, 1-900-860-4332. It's fun, it's exciting, you can win with every call, and you don't even have to dress up like a chicken.
$2 for the first minute, $1 each additional minute.
Today's show, send $3 to Donahue Transcripts, 267 Broadway, New York, New York, 1007, or call 212-227-READ.
I have 1 minute, Mr. Mandela, and I know that your time is limited as well, so let's see what we can get done here.
I want to find out, Mr. Mandela, as to what are your beliefs in terms of unity in South Africa vis-a-vis the Pan-Africanist Congress and BCM and AZAPO?
That is a very important question. Unity is desirable with all political organizations that are fighting against apartheid. And this is the question which the National Executive of the ANC is addressing. And we hope that will succeed in building greater unity.
Mr. Mandela, may I just try this one final question for you, sir? We have a playwright who now heads Czechoslovakia. We have seen stunning changes in Eastern Europe and in the Soviet Union, as you know. What is so unthinkable about Nelson Mandela as the head of the government of South Africa at some time in the future?
Well, it is not for me to express an opinion on who the future president of South Africa might be. That is a question for the masses of the people to decide.
Mr. Mandela, please let me extend to you my gratitude for your giving us this time in what we know is a very busy schedule. I speak for our entire audience when I say, welcome to America, however electronic it may have been. We look forward to your visit. We thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
And good day.
Thank you very much.
Service provided and promotional fees paid by the farmer.
New Jergens Aloe and Lanolin and Vitamin E and Lanolin skin conditioning bars, now bursting with skin-softening ingredients. Clorettes, fast-acting, breath-freshening gums and mints. Only Clorettes has Actazole with chlorophyll. It helps get rid of bad breath fast.
Limousines for Donahue Show guests furnished by Music Express Limousine Service, New York and Los Angeles.